Did it happen? Did it really happen? I still got to pinch myself to actually believe that happened. And how? Glenn Maxwell played arguably one of the best ever World Cup knocks on Wednesday to pull off an heist against Afghanistan, who looked to be in a very good state to win the game from there on in. And with the win, Australia have also sealed themselves a semi-final berth. The Big Show truly put on the biggest show yesterday. We are going to celebrate that on Off the Pitch with Ankit on India.com. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me just introduce you to my panelists joining me today. We have Biswajit Jha, who is an ex-sports editor and an author. We have Kaushik Paul. We also have Akshat Jain. Biswajit, I'll start with you. You've been following cricket for what? Let's say 1, 2, 3 decades now, right?
Yeah,
The 19th century,
yeah.
also the yeah. So you've been covering cricket for quite some time, following cricket, grown up watching cricket. Have you ever seen something like this happen ever? And you have to look at the
No, no, no,
circumstances
no.
also that led to it. The guy had met with a
No,
freak
no.
accident. उसको accident हुआ था, फिर वो इंग्लैंड वाला मैच मिस किया. Then he comes back, गिरते लुढ़कते जैसे तैसे he takes Australia over the line. Can we actually draw parallels with the Kapil Dev knock of 175? Biswajit, what
Yeah,
was this?
people. It was an amazing knock, and it was like I have never seen this kind of innings in my life. And people are drawing comparison with Kapil Dev's 175, which we didn't see actually. But the circumstances they were India were in and at a particular situation, and he single-handedly won India that particular match, and then helped India win this in that particular World Cup. People are drawing parallel. Hope that doesn't happen this time. But it was an amazing knock. We were pretty sure that Afghanistan would win the match yesterday till when they were 91 for 7. So no one gave Australia a glimmer of hope that time. No one had given them chances. But the thing is that this is why we are so fearful of this particular Australian team, because Australia is like football's Germany. They are never out of the race, and the thing is that they can come back anytime. And the best part is that when their backs are to the world, and they produce their best, and they had nothing to lose yesterday. And I told in you also that when you have nothing to lose, na, that time you are very dangerous. That's why the terrorists are dangerous, because terrorists don't fear for their lives. So so this kind of situation, and they had nothing other things to do. Basically, they had to counterattack. That was the only chance they had. They were very lucky also, because Maxwell, first he was almost got out. LBW, he was also going out, and then Zampa was coming out from the stands, from that dugout, and then they missed a very easy chance of Maxwell also. But that was kind of a day when you are destined to do something, you will get this kind of helps from the from the god, or whatever, almighty you think. So that kind of day it was for Maxwell. He fought against all the odds, and it is in life also. When you fight against all the odds, you get the best result in life. So at the end of the day, it was a tremendous knock. It was a historical knock, and people will remember this for many reasons in the days to come.
You know, Kaushik, when it is 91 for 7 and you're chasing 291, you're already preparing for the post match presentation and all these things, preparing your copies, follow up copies, whatever the captain speaks and all that. By then, when it was 91 for 7, everybody, even the Australian dressing room, had given up hope. 100%. There is no two ways to it. And then Maxwell comes up with this. While Maxwell, the big show, came up and came good at the biggest show, there was also a Pat Cummins. Let's not forget about Pat Cummins, the crucial knock that Pat Cummins played. Pat Cummins, Pat Cummins, he only scored 12 runs of 68 balls. But what a crucial 12 runs it was, Kaushik. Let's talk about Pat Cummins. Of course, we'll speak about Maxwell. This entire show is about Maxwell, but let's just focus on Pat Cummins, this guy. And this is not the first time Pat Cummins has done it. He's done it in the past also. In a test match, I think it was a test match against India itself. So, Kaushik, how important was Pat Cummins yesterday?
See, Pat Cummins played the pure anchor's role. I mean, what I mean, when at one side Maxwell was hitting, Maxwell was counter attacking against the Afghanistan spinners, because you see, 91 for 7, Rashid Khan took 2 wickets and Omar Zaid took 2 wickets. Afghanistan was all over the Wankhede yesterday. Be it in the batting, Ibrahim Sadran played a crucial 100 century. So Afghanistan were all over the game. But at that time, when Maxwell counter attacked, someone was needed to be at the other end to tell Maxwell that I am here holding one end and you go all about. I am here to support you. I am here to provide you the wall. And that's what Pat Cummins did. Yes, we all know he's a good batter down the order. He has showed in the past in Test matches or ODIs or T20Is in the IPL also. So I mean, if everyone says, when a captain scores big, or when a captain takes more wickets, everyone says that leading from he led from the front, the captain led from the front. But I'll after yesterday's Pat Cummins' knock, that 12 runs of 68 balls, I'll say that Pat Cummins, he led from the front. Yes, obviously Maxwell counter attack, he scored all the bulk of the runs, scored a 200, became the first Australian to score a 200 in men's ODIs. But at the same time, Pat Cummins led from the front. He said that, okay, you go, I am there behind you, so that nothing happens. So obviously, Pat Cummins' role is very crucial for Australia, and it shows that the batting depth this Australian side had. Because before the toss, when it was announced that Steve Smith won't be playing, there was a notion that this might be the Australian middle order might be that not much strong. But the way Maxwell played, the way Cummins held his back at one end, it shows that the Australia are, I mean, they are truly gunning for their sixth World Cup title. And I still remember at 91 for 7, there was an ICC poll on social media that showed 91% for Afghanistan, only 9% for Australia. I still, when you were saying about when Sir was talking about Maxwell, when you were talking about Maxwell, there was a poll. I was recalling that poll, that 91% Afghanistan, 9% Australia, and from there, to win this kind of match, even Sachin Tendulkar tweeted that this is the best ODI knock he has ever seen in his life. So you can understand how much crucial this knock is, how much crucial this Maxwell's knock is, and it will go in the history of cricket. It will be remembered for a long, long time.
Yes,
But
Biswajit.
but but Kaushik, yeah, it was an amazing knock, no doubt about it. But don't forget that Australia had another batting failure. The middle order couldn't get run. It was an individual effort, and it was a supporting role of Pat Cummins. But apart from that, Australia were miserable. They couldn't bowl also well. They let
Till the first 25 overs, what I understand is Australia, they were not in the game at all. And the last 25 overs, Glenn Maxwell, it was a one man show. The big show, the biggest show. And Glenn Maxwell, what he did will surely be remembered after, let's say, decades, after 20, 30 years as well. That innings will be, I mean, remembered. Akshat, you have also been following cricket for quite some time. Is this the best you've seen? And what do you think was the hallmark of Glenn Maxwell's knock? Because I felt, if you ask me, what was the hallmark of his knock was he was somehow staying steady when the bowler was bowling. He was getting a place. He was getting a spot from where he was launching. So he wasn't moving around a lot. He had a steady base from where he was launching. What, according to you, because he was injured, all the drama that took place, he was limping, he wasn't feeling good, he was falling on the ground and all that, he was in excruciating pain, but still he came up with the goods. So, Akshat, according to you, what was the hallmark of Glenn Maxwell's knock yesterday?
Thank you so much, Ankit, for this opportunity. Ankit, see what I think. I've been following cricket from a quite long time before. So what I think, I saw the best knock ever in ODIs yesterday. 201 not out is not a small thing, Ankit. And watching the records and stats, then Glenn Maxwell became now on the top. He overtook Fakhar Zaman, Virat Kohli, MS Dhoni in most individual highest individual score in run chases in ODIs. As we know, MS Dhoni also scored 183 against Sri Lanka, and that time Virat Kohli scored 183 against Pakistan, and Glenn Maxwell overtook. And see, Ankit, even when we both play together, Ankit, when we take running between the wickets, when we watch, as we played a knock, we both together, we know the mind control. Yesterday, when I was watching the innings, I saw Glenn Maxwell smiling. Whenever he hit the ball, he was smiling. Smiling to Pat Cummins. The one thing what I think is mental strength, which was very strong of Glenn Maxwell, which is very important in a game. Taking on pressure, that makes the game situation a little bit dizzy, and it feels like you're going to get down. But his smile, and on the other hand, the anchor role of Pat Cummins, which was, I think, the most important thing, because Australia were losing wickets back to back. And what I think is hallmark, if I talk about, is see, if I tell about Hallmark, that is his mental strength, which I keep on the first priority. On the other hand, as you told me that hitting the ball, standing in a same position and hitting the ball down the ground on the onside as he was hitting, striking like a hell. So what I think is that time he was also injured, and generally it was an amazing innings. What I think, and watching Glenn Maxwell show, it's not new for me because I have seen him smashing the bowlers in Chinnaswamy, Wankhede before also. So
Last night it
it
was
was that was
different.
that.
Akshat, you got
Yeah,
to agree with me. Last night wasn't
yeah,
like
that's
any
what
other
I did.
night. It was a different night
Yeah,
at the Chinnaswamy.
yeah, that's what. And even Virat Kohli, even he put up a story on it, because that was what Virat Kohli thought. It is only Glenn Maxwell who can do this. What a show, Maxi, the big show we have witnessed yesterday. And I'm feeling that the fans who witnessed the match in the stadium, I guess those are the lucky ones. Firstly, they could have, they could have firstly seen that match could be bored, but literally, who did expect that Australia gonna hit up Afghanistan like that? And as Kaushik sir even told that the prediction poll of ICC, 91 on 9, that was 91% on Afghanistan and 9% on Australia. Still, we couldn't believe that how Australia did beat Afghanistan. But still, yeah, it was a big show, Glenn Maxwell show.
It was not Australia. It
I
was
think
actually
so.
Maxwell defeated Afghanistan
Maxwell
basically.
scored more than
That's why. That's
80%
what.
of yesterday's
Yeah,
runs.
that's what I am
Yeah,
telling
that's what.
Ankit. Australia as a team didn't play well yesterday. They were about to
Not at
lose.
all,
It
not
was
at
an
all, not at
individual
all.
brilliance from Maxwell which won the match. Otherwise, they were all over the place, and they were like they played very badly. First, they allowed Afghanistan to score 291, which was a big score, and then they were
Afghanistan
91
had them
for
on the
7.
mat.
Yeah. Afghanistan defeated Australia, but could not. But Maxwell defeated Afghanistan basically.
Kaushik,
So
a loss, a win of such nature, what does it do to the morale of a team like Australia, who are basically with 5 World Cup titles to their name? They are World Cup royalty. So, what does this, now I feel Australia, they are firm favorites heading into the semi-finals now that they have sealed their spot. Do you agree with me? Do you think Australia, they are firm favorites to win the title? Because now they'll believe they can do anything. And that belief is very important. Kaushik.
See, you can't say this Australian team are the favorites after Maxwell's knock, because if you see these Australian bowlers, if you see these Australian bowlers, they have been leaking runs throughout the tournament. I mean, yes, bearing Adam Zampa's 19 wickets, no other Australian bowler has clearly peaked in this World Cup. Number one. Number two, as Biswis just said, this Australian team is completely on individual. I mean, the way they have qualified for the semi-finals is completely on individual performances. Yesterday, Maxwell did. There was a day when David Warner hit 2 centuries in two of the matches, if I'm not wrong. Then there was a innings from Travis Head also. So this Australian unit, they haven't performed as a whole together. They haven't performed as a unit in this World Cup
Do
so
you
far,
think
which
they are
I
peaking
believe.
at the right time? Do you think they are peaking at the right time, Kaushik?
You can say they have peaked at the right time, but at the again, when you play a team like South Africa in the semi-finals, who has top to bottom match winners, who have performed consistently in this World Cup, I don't see Australia as the favorites against South Africa. If you ask me to choose between the two, always say South Africa are much way ahead than Australia in the semi-finals. But I think Biswit sir wants to make a point.
They have a serious issue in their batting order, especially the middle order, and the Labuschagne is not scoring runs. Speed Smith is not scoring runs, and then they have too much all-rounders which are not like typical all-rounders. They are like what we have seen, Ankit, in this World Cup. Either you have a very good all-rounder who, on their basis of batting performance or bowling skill, they can be selected in the team. Bits and pieces all rounder won't work, and they have like Stoinis, and then Marsh, and then Green. They are good batters, but they are not good bowlers. Like individually on bowling, they won't be selected in the team. So I think that in this World Cup, which has shown us that you need to have that kind of all-rounder. Bits and pieces all-rounder won't work, and they have too many all-rounders in Mars, Green, and Stoinis. I think, and their
Cam Green, and these guys
Cam
also.
Green, Cameron Green, Marsh, and Stoinis. And then Maxwell. I still think that Maxwell as a batter is good, no doubt about it. Especially today, though I can't say anything about him. But the thing is that he is a like the India. Look, India has five proper bowlers, like five bowlers, but Australia is with four bowlers, one bowlers one bowler. They are filling up with the one bowler spot with Maxwell, Green, Stoinis, etc. And I think that you need to have five main bowlers in your team. That if you don't have that, you can have some problem in the crucial matches.
Biswajit, when I look at the points table, I was just looking at it right now. I feel my hunch is that South Africa take on Australia in the semi-final.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
India
yeah.
finish one. India take on the team that finishes fourth, which could be New Zealand or Pakistan. And Australia take on South Africa in the semi-final,
Yes,
which would
yes.
be a repeat of the 1999 semi-final. And we all know what had happened then. Back then, Lance Klusener pulled off a heist and all that. The choker stack still remains with South Africa. Do you
South
think they're
Africa,
going to
yeah.
choke again? Do you think they're going to choke again in
No,
2023?
they shouldn't choke basically, but what we have seen over the years that they tend to choke when there is crucial match. and
They are
and
going to play a
and
different Australian side, Biswajit. They are going to play a different Australian side. Now that this Australian side has pulled off a win of such magnitude, South
but
Africa,
Ankit,
be rest assured.
This Australian side is inferior to what other Australian side we have seen. But this is a good side individually with individual brilliance. But still, I have a doubt with Australia that the way they are playing, especially that if they come up with good show in the middle order, and then they can
Do you
do
think
well. But
psychologically the choker stack would actually affect
yeah,
South
yeah,
Africa
psychologically it will
ahead of the
affect them, and
semi-final against
psychologically
Australia?
Australia will be in a better position, better mental of frame
Hmm, hmm,
after
hmm.
this super
That is what I
victory. Or
wanted to find out.
yeah, yeah. In terms of mental frame, Australia will be better position compared to South Africa, because South Africa, that choker stack would haunt them in the semi-final when they will face the same team, the Australian team, with against whom they faltered in earlier tournaments. So mentally, Australia will be in a better position. But team wise, I am telling you, team wise and form wise, the way that this South African, apart from this India game and Netherlands games, the way their middle order, top order is playing, the way their bowlers are bowling, on paper they are favorite, but again, on that particular day and on that crucial day, knockout day, you don't know that Australia may defeat South Africa because of they are in a better mental frame.
Kaushik, we understood what could happen with South Africa and Australia. Kaushik, I want to find out, what will be the frame of mind of the Afghanistan team inside their dressing room because they'll be heartbroken, they'll be gutted after the loss yesterday. अब उनको लगेगा कहीं से भी हम मैच हार सकते हैं. And that is not good because this Afghanistani team has been playing very good cricket throughout the competition. And had they won the game yesterday, they would have edged Pakistan as well, right, in the points table. Well, that did not happen, but Afghanistan, they were so close to doing it. Now, do you think the belief would be lost? They would be doubting the abilities. What will happen to Afghanistan now, Kaushik, after a loss like this?
See, a loss like this, I mean, from at a point when you were winning 91 for 7, the opposition is, and from there, someone just takes the game away. Obviously, it affects the losing team. It affects the mentality of the losing team that they have lost. But the way this Afghanistan team has played, I don't think it will affect the mentality going into the South Africa game because this Afghanistan team knows their strengths. This Afghanistan team know that they have the ability to fox any opposition. I mean, they already had foxed yesterday Australia. So I
Can
don't think.
Afghanistan still make it to the semi-final?
Yes, I think yes. I think yes, and they will give a good fight to this South Africa. I mean, in their last game, and if you see, they have nothing to lose. Afghanistan have nothing to lose. They just want to prove a point here. Yes, a semi-final spot is what they're looking for, but even if they do not qualify for the semi-final, this Afghanistan team will go out with their head held high apart from India. I mean, the
Ankit,
way they have.
despite the loss, Ankit, what I feel that Afghanistan will be very proud. The way they played against Australia, 90% time they were ahead of Australia, and the thing is that they will be very proud of their performance and the 2 3 that I think they have won 4 matches. 4 matches they won. Initially,
Deep,
we
I'm
thought that it
talking
was.
about the mental setup ahead of the South Africa game over here.
No, no, no.
You
They will be.
understand? They will feel
Yeah, yeah. I
हम कहीं से
understand.
भी
They will.
मैच हार
They will
सकते हैं.
still. They have this belief that they can win any opposition against Australia. Also, despite a particular innings by Maxwell, they actually they overpowered Australia, and the belief will be still be there against South Africa because they have now understood one thing that they can beat anyone, which is very important for a team to win matches or win tournaments. Yes, the loss to they will the lost against Bangladesh will keep haunting them in this tournament because they initially they couldn't understand their potential also and they lost Bangladesh match. If the Bangladesh match was scheduled to be like after the last match, they would beat Bangladesh hands down. But the thing is
Akshat,
that they will be very proud. They will again torture South Africa. If they can't win, they will torture South Africa. They won't go down without fighting. That is sure, Ankit. And if they can beat South Africa, then they will be also in the hunt. I don't think about the net run rate. If they can manage the net run rate and they can still go to the semi-final, but their performance, this is the standout performance of this World Cup. Afghanistan team is the most favorite, most light team in this World Cup. They got much support in this World Cup. In every stadium they played, they got support from the audience.
Akshat, what is your hunch? Can Afghanistan beat South Africa with the kind of mindset Afghanistan would be in? They would. I feel the belief would be lost, Akshat. Don't you feel so? A loss of such magnitude, you feel, और क्या कर सकते थे? One guy just took it away. You will now feel, even after picking up 7 wickets, you will still feel that क्या पता, we might lose the game like we did against Australia. Do you think Afghanistan can actually come together and beat South Africa over here and finish on a high? Akshat.
Uh, yeah, Ankit, see, what I think is Afghanistan has played a really very good cricket. We have seen them playing, Rahmanullah Gurbaz yesterday, Ibrahim Zadran. They were playing real cricketing shots, a real cricket game with their techniques and skills. Even bowling was quite well, but still, I would tell catches win matches. So that would I suggest again for yesterday's match. But still, according to question, Well, I think the confidence there would be a little bit of thing in their mind that yes, we lost the match. That generally happens to a human. I mean, if we talk about ourselves also, then they are also a human. If we talk about ourselves also, even we do think a lot about such things that we lost a match or something. अगर ये हो जाता तो ऐसा हो सकता था, ये हो जाता. Things gonna happen, but still watching Afghanistan in this World Cup campaign, they were incredibly well, and I think they're going to be tough competitor for proteins also. They're going to not lose their confidence. They're going to get a good mindset also, because yes, positivity is the thing which can create an aura, which can create an aura into the dressing room and also Afghanistan's campaign. So I think so. They would be a tough competitor for Proteas also. They would perform as usual as they performed in this campaign. They have performed really well and they will. I think so. They would not lose their confidence because whatever hopes it is, they will get on.
We got a fair idea as to what exactly happened yesterday, how Glenn Maxwell pulled off an heist. From nowhere, Australia won the match and entered the semi final. We also understood Australia would be a different beast come the knockout stage, and they could actually, get into the final. And now they also look like contenders to win the title, which they probably weren't 2 or 3 games back. And Maxwell has a lot of contribution for changing the mindset of people and now changing the Australian look. Now they look like contenders. Thank you so much for joining me on Off the Pitch with Ankit on India.com. Stay tuned to this website for all the latest across sports. Thank you so much.